Good evening, and happy Tuesday night. I know you're used to seeing me on Monday nights, but yesterday was Veterans Day, and my husband belongs to a community band, and he plays the saxophone in this community band in our area, and it's called the Blairsville Community Concert Band. And they put on a veterans program every single year on Veterans Day. And so that's where I was last night. So I wasn't able to do our Blessings Unveiled last night. So I decided to move it to tonight because he was playing in the band. And oh my goodness, it was absolutely amazing. They are an extremely talented group of people from all over our county and the surrounding counties. And it is just absolutely breathtaking. They have so many different songs that they play. There were so many veterans there, and they do a tribute to all the veterans that are there. So it was a wonderful, wonderful event. So I was not able to be here last night. So I decided to jump on tonight. I hope that you got the email. Hi, Lisa. How are you? It's good to see so many of you watching. Please jump on. If you are watching, please let me know. I'd love to know who's here this evening. It is always a joy to get to know a little bit more about you guys, and it makes me happy whenever you jump on with my lives. So I know that it is only November 12th, right? But guys, Thanksgiving is in 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks, guys. It's coming up. So, well, I guess it's 3 weeks, right? Almost. 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks, right? So that means that Christmas shopping, it's time, guys. And if you get a jump on it, then it's perfect to be able to have your Christmas shopping and some of your crafting done even before the holiday begins. All right. So I have a couple questions for you. So many of you joining me. Awesome. Becky and Wendy and Teresa and Kenny and Jess is here. Wonderful. Great to have you guys here. So I have a question for you. What is your favorite part of the Christmas story? I want to know your favorite part of the Christmas story. Is it the angels appearing to the shepherds, or maybe the wise men following the star, or maybe it's just that precious moment in the manger? I want you to tell me in the comments, what is your favorite part of the Christmas story? All right. I would love to know that. Hi, Julie. How are you? Let me know in the comments what your favorite part of the Christmas story is, as we're waiting for a few more people to come in. I'm anxious to see what it is. I'm trying to think of what mine is. I don't know. I love the shepherds. To me, I can just envision them out there watching their sheep, just calmly, quietly looking up at the night sky, and then seeing that huge star and seeing those angels and just announcing the birth of the baby. I just, to me, that just would be so awe-inspiring. And what's the first thing he said to them? The angel said, "Do not be afraid," right? Isn't that what they always say? Kathy says she loves the angels singing over the shepherds too. Yes, yes. Mona says, "This is my first time watching your live." Awesome, Mona. We're welcome. So glad that you're here. You're in Farmers Branch, Texas, outside of Dallas. I was just in Dallas just a few weeks ago, about a month ago. I love it there. The shepherds, that's what you would say. Hey, Frank, my husband's here watching. All right. So go ahead. Baby Jesus, Mary says. Wonderful, wonderful. Birth of Christ, says Lisa, too. Wonderful. Yeah, there's so many different things that people love about the whole story, right? So one of the things that I do want to say is, before we get started, is we are going to have a little contest, and somebody is going to win one of our kits that contains the whole set of the Bethlehem's blessing, so that you can do it yourself. Okay. Teresa says the animals as they see our newborn king. That's awesome. Baby Jesus, Mona says. So anyway, what I want you to do is, in the comments, I want you to comment if you were in Bethlehem that night. All right. What present would you have brought baby Jesus? All right. Think about that. And I want you to go ahead and comment when you get a chance and tell me what present you would bring baby Jesus. Okay. I always think of the little drummer boy. That's what the gift that he brought. Kenny says, my favorite part is Joseph honoring his promise to marry Mary. That's really good. That's awesome. All right. So anyway, let's go ahead and move on. But I do want you to go ahead and answer that. All right. What gift you would bring. So I want to give you a little history about nativities. All right. So this beautiful tradition of displaying nativity scenes in our houses actually started way back in the 1200s. And it was St. Francis of Assisi who created the very first living nativity scene in a cave in Italy. It had real animals, local people playing the roles because he wanted people to understand and truly connect with the miracle of Christ's birth. And then from there, other families began creating their own nativity displays, first in Europe and then spreading across the world. And the displays, whether they were very elaborate or simple, became known as creches in France, right? So every culture added to its own special touches, but the heart of the displays always remained the same. That holy night in Bethlehem, right? I have a friend who has 9 kids. Now, most of them are all grown and gone now. However, she used to always have her kids dress up and do the whole nativity. And they would have their sheep. They raised sheep, and they would have their whole nativity out there. And people would drive from all around to come out to their farm to see their display. And just very, very touching. So what I love most about having nativity pieces in our homes is how they serve as a daily reminder during the busy holidays about what Christmas is truly about. They help us pause, even if it's just for a minute, to remember the greatest gift that was ever given. And that's actually what inspired me about this project that I'm making today. Instead of just one nativity scene in one spot, we're going to create 8 different pieces that can be placed throughout your home, or you can actually have it on a little tiered tray, or have them all in one place, whatever you'd like. You're going to have 8 different pieces in this kit so that you can have the story with you. If you wanted to, you could put one piece in every room and just walk from room to room. Maybe you'd have the shepherds in the field in one room and the angels proclaiming the good news in the next, or the wise men following that star. And of course, the Holy Family as well. So each piece that we're going to create today isn't just a decoration, but it can be a very good conversation starter, right? A teaching tool for children. And most importantly, it's going to be a reminder of God's incredible love for us. So before we run out of too much time, I'm going to go ahead and get started with this. And do not forget, if you want to enter in the contest, make sure you answer the question. If you could have been present in Bethlehem that night, what would you have brought as your gift to baby Jesus? There is lots of things. Kathy West is saying, I would bring Jesus my love, a pillow and blankets, Julie, love. My gift would be that I would tell him I would follow him my entire life. I love that. Blankets, bring yourself. I would give him my heart. I would bring him a heart that would that I would make to represent my love for him. Diapers and blankets. There you go, Teresa. All right. Wonderful. Thank you so much for answering that. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. I am going to bring this forward so that you can see what is down here. So this is what you're going to get in your kit. You're going to get a little booklet that tells you about what is supplied. If you get the whole kit, you do get the 8 let me grab them here. You do get the 8 pieces of the little wooden pieces, and then you get your sheets that have all of the pictures on them. So there will be 4 different sheets with the designs on them. And these pictures, it is really hard to tell in the pictures from the email. They are stunning. They are so bright and beautiful, and they all match. So they look just gorgeous. So what you're going to get are all of these items. You're going to get 8 of the unfinished wood pieces. What you're going to need is some Mod Podge You're going to need either a foam brush or a soft bristled brush. It really does work best if you use a little bit of a bigger brush. When I started making mine, I started out with a little one, and the Mod Podge started drying before I actually got everything on. So if you put this on, it works a lot better. You're going to want some scissors to be able to cut around your items. And then at the end, you're going to want some sandpaper and maybe even some clear sealant spray too. All right. So what we're going to do is, the first thing we're going to do with this is we're going to take our pieces and we're going to cut these out. And we're going to make sure that you cut them right along the edges. You want to have just a teeny bit of an extra white on the edges like these. So that you've got some space. You don't want to cut it too short, because I've designed them so that when you look at it, it just fits. You're not going to have a whole lot of overhang on it, but it will fit on here perfectly. And I even gave you, if you look at the picture, it will tell you right on here which ones these go on. So this fits on the 4-inch wooden circles. This one fits on the squares, and so on. So you're going to know where these items fit. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to get these all out and you're going to lay them out, and then you're going to match up what the pictures are going to go with them. So let's go ahead and do, I'm just going to do a couple of these because I don't need to do them all for you tonight, just so you get an idea of how to do these. Okay. So we've got all of these. Let's go ahead and do the piece on Earth first. So what I'm going to do, let's put these out of the way here. And I will tell you, I am fairly new to using decoupage. It has only been in the last, I'd say 2 years that I've started doing it. And I love it. I really am enjoying it. They turn out so neat. I kept thinking that it was more of an old-fashioned thing that, people don't decoupage anymore. It is really, really coming back as a hobby. I'll tell you what. So what I did the first time is I take it and I turn it over like this, and I make sure that it's centered on here. And then I kind of just pressed down so I knew where this was going to go, because this isn't see-through. Sometimes you can use napkins for decoupaging, and then you're able to actually see through and know what's underneath it. But for these pieces of paper, you can't really see under it. So what I did was just pushed a little bit so that you can see. It gives you just a little bit of a marking, so that when I put the decoupage, the Mod Podge on here, and I lay this on, it's going to lay on there perfectly where it needs to be and not move around. All right. So that's what I would recommend you do first, is go ahead and just press around so that you get a nice little groove right on the paper. And then you're going to turn it back over, and you're going to take your Mod Podge and you're just going to brush it on. And I make sure I get it, especially on the edges, but a nice smooth look so that you don't have to worry about it smearing at all. And then I'm going to take this, set it right there, right on top. And I do have to move it a pinch, but I'm going to feel around where it's at. Whoop, and I had to move it over a teeny bit. Okay. And now I'm going to take it and I'm just going to rub my fingers on it and make sure that it's pushed down smooth. Sometimes you can use, and I don't know what that tool's called actually, but there's a real smooth type item that you can use that pushes down and gets all the bubbles out. But you're going to want to push that down nice so it's nice and smooth. Now I can tell right here it already started drying before I put this down. So I'm just going to take a little bit more and put it right down there. Okay. So you can go ahead and start doing this and sticking to my paper here and just put that on like that. And now I can see where my lines are right around the edge. So I'm going to push that down again. Okay. And then I can move this up here and let it dry a little bit. And then I'll start with the next one. So let's go ahead and do this next one. And I'll turn it over and look at it. Make sure it's centered on here. Make my little grooves. You do not have to do this, but for me, it's really, really easier for me if I do this. Okay. How many of you like to decoupage? Have you done it before? Do you do it often? Let me know in the comments how many of you do decoupage pretty often, or if you are you fairly new like I am. I would love to know how many of you are new, or maybe never done it. Have any of you never done decoupage before? That's a good question. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this on here. Let's set that on there. But I just want you to see how quick and easy. Never, Kenny. Wow. A brayer, Mona, that's what it's called. Thank you. Patty Barnes loves it. Awesome. Okay. How many of you have already purchased a kit? They were flying out the door today. I'll tell you what, we had 81 orders went out today. So we had a lot of them, included this kit. You decoupage all the time since joining the Christian Crafting Club. I bet, Wendy. Isn't she amazing? Melanie does a fantastic job. Okay, so there's that one. Okay, so I could do them all, but I'm just going to do these ones just so that we don't run out of time here, okay? So what I do next is I take my scissors. You don't have to do this. I just like to, and I just cut around a little bit closer, just so whenever I use my sander, I'm not just wasting a whole bunch of extra paper. Well, it's not wasting it anyway, but it's just a little bit easier for me. Okay, so I'm just going to go around the edges there. And then you can use either a piece of sanding paper like this and go around the edges. You just want to go around the edges so that it sands off the edges. See how easy that is? And it just makes it come right down. Or you can use, I borrowed one of these from my husband. This is a sanding block. This works really well. But you just want to go around now and use this around the edges and get all the paper off of the edges. My paper's not doing very good on here, is it? This one's a little bit big. I think probably if I were going to use it more, I'd probably cut a piece of it off. That'd probably work a lot better. Mona, it's been a long time. Yeah. Judith says, I have decoupage napkins on playing cards, scrapbook paper on words. But you love the nativity scene. Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, so we're just going to keep on going around here till I get most of it off. And then we're going to go a little closer. But boy, it really pulls out such a nice look to it once you get all around the edge. And you're able to peel that right off. And then you see the definition of these pretty blocks, huh? I apologize if that is hard on the ears. Dollar Tree has sanding blocks. Oh, fantastic, Teresa. That's great to know. Yeah, you can get sanding blocks at the Dollar Tree then. Great. Okay, so see how easy that's coming off on the edges there? And then it gives you that nice smooth look to it. Okay, so after you're done with this, you're going to, even my chair is squeaking because I'm doing with this. I'm just going to go ahead and finish this one. And then we're going to decoupage again right over top it at least once, maybe even twice, because that's what gives you that nice finish, the nice finished look to it. It's a little harder when you have these rounded edges like this in between, because you want to make sure you get all the edges done. But that's when you could probably take the finer, smaller piece and use it instead. Okay, just a little bit more here, because even after you're done with these, doing this, you can sand it again then after you get your next coat over top of this. Look, it's getting that all over the place. How many of you have done any kind of a decoupage nativity before? Have you done a decoupage nativity before? Even if it was on napkins? I'd love to know that. Okay, so look how easy that was. See how quick and easy? Okay, I'm gonna blow that away so I don't get anything on here. And then now it just has kind of like a, a dull finish on it. And now we're going to go ahead and use this again. And we're going to put a coat right over top. And we're going to let that dry. And that's going to give it a bit of a shiny finish. And then we're going to do it again. Oops. There we go. And then you're just going to set it aside. But you see how fast and easy that could be? Now, here's some of the ones that I did before. I did these the other day. So they're already done once, but they kind of have a little bit, you can kind of see where it's done. I'm going to go ahead and do a second coat on my ones that I did yesterday. Now, these ones, I'm planning to give these as gifts because I think these would be fantastic gifts. When you hand somebody an actual gift, and then give one of these as well with it, or maybe in a card. You could actually include these right in a card, and they would be beautiful. So we're just going to put another layer over top of this one. And then after I'm done with this one and it dries well, then I'm going to sand it as well. Okay. That is how easy it was, guys. Let's go ahead and remove this and come back here. All righty. So you love the bright pictures. I know they really turned out gorgeous. I designed these. I'll be honest with you. When I first bought these wooden pieces, I was planning to purchase stickers, design stickers and put on them and have them available to put on them. And then when I started working with it and trying to design these stickers, I wasn't really happy with it. I just didn't like what it looked like. And I kept thinking, I could do better than that. I could design these pictures and they would be so much better. But look how gorgeous that is. Isn't that beautiful? Here's the shepherds. And again, this still needs one more coat as well. And they're still just gorgeous. There's those shepherds. There's Mary and Joseph. Here's peace on earth. And then here's the wise men. There you go. And then we've got our joy to the world. It's the last one that I just finished and put another coat on that one. So that one's still drying. All righty. Fantastic. Okay. So that only took about 20 minutes. So that didn't take that long. All righty. So there we go. Thank you so much for joining me. Do you have any questions about any of the crafting? Do you guys like the crafts that we include, like in the Creative Blessings Club? I love crafting. So for me, this is a lot of fun. But I love doing devotionals. I love writing the devotionals, but I just like doing a little extra things in them too. So that's why I try to include different crafts in with the devotionals that I do, or, some kind of an item to do. We are shipping out the Creative Blessing Club this week. I am so excited for you to get it. Let's see here. Judith said, are you using glossy or matte? This is a matte. You know what, Kathy? I bet you a glossy would look better. But this is a matte that I had purchased once before. I think I will get some glossy because I bet these would be absolutely gorgeous with the gloss, right? That would look really nice. So yeah, the Creative Blessing Club is going out. We do have, I think, about 15 kits left after all of the subscribers got theirs, plus the others that purchased them have purchased extra ones. So if you have not gotten your Creative Blessings Club yet, there is still time to get it. And then we will be making an announcement the week before Thanksgiving about what is going to be going on in January. All right. Because we've gone a whole year following Jesus's birth, Jesus's whole story. We started out with his his story, his first story, and that was the Footsteps of Grace. That was the first one. Then we went to Redemption's Road, and that was just the week of Easter. So it was Palm Sunday through the resurrection. Then we went to Acts. We studied the whole book of Acts, and then we did the parable path, and we talked about all the different parables, and we talked about miracles. And now this one is all about the prophecies, and it has been so interesting to me. I knew that there were different prophecies, but I never dug quite so deep as I did with this one. And we go through 6 weeks worth of prophecies. I have a feeling this is going to be one that you may do, but you may go back to it later. Just to think about all the different prophecies that pointed to Jesus's birth, Jesus's life, Jesus's resurrection, Jesus's role as a prophet, as a teacher, all of those things. It's really, really good. And I hope that you enjoy the crafts too. I'll fill you in on a little secret. There's going to be a decoupage one. I'm gonna show you this one. That's going to be one of the crafts that you're going to do. It's a decoupage of a little sheep, and it has Jesus carrying the sheep on his back. I did that picture. I designed that picture, and I just knew that's the one I wanted to put on that little sheep. I thought it turned out so good. All righty. Thank you so much. If you have not commented yet, I want to make sure you comment, okay? Because whoever comments, that's who's going to win. We're going to do a drawing. And if you're watching this on replay, type in replay and make sure you comment also on what gift you would bring to baby Jesus. All right. We will pick this, the winner, probably tomorrow morning, and we'll announce it tomorrow morning. So you've got all night and tomorrow morning. Okay. All righty. Thank you so much for joining me. It is always awesome to be here with you. I will see you next Monday, and we'll do another Blessings Unveiled. And it has been a pure joy to be here with you. Thank you so much for all of you. And I pray you have a very, very blessed evening. Bye-bye.